Hey guys, hello and welcome to Bardic Games tutorial series. In this video series we're covering how to make your own game mode selector style map. In the last several videos we've covered how to make the hub area, and team settings and inventory settings. You'll need class settings. We've also covered how to make a runner versus snipers map and also a team deathmatch style map that I've made right over here. This video we're going to cover how to make a death run, and I'm going to place that right over there. But there's a few things that I have changes I have made since the last video, and one of the main ones being this HUD display thing here. So basically it's a little heads up display, so whenever somebody spawns in they'll see this little thing kind of pop up on their display there. But just make sure that if you want something like that, you can do a lot of cool stuff with the customization, but I do have it set to show on round start. The default is off, and you can have it like a trigger to turn it on. But you can go in here and you type in whatever you want to say, and then you'll go into the format styles, and you can literally click like a word and change whatever you want that specific word to look like. So with that being said, I'll kind of show you what it does here. So go ahead and start the game. So it has a 1 second delay. So once the timer starts, 1 second from then, it'll say at the top, welcome, select a game mode to play. And then it'll just kind of hover up there for I think like 10 seconds or 5 seconds or something like that. And then they can go on and pick whatever they want to play from there. So those heads up display messages things are actually pretty handy. I do have another one set up in my team deathmatch thing over there that tells them just to select a weapon or whatever. I did make some like fine adjustments over here, kind of added some just miscellaneous stuff in here to kind of make it look less boring. And I also added the weapon mod bench, and you can customize these to where they can just modify their weapons for free. So I added a couple on either side for either team to modify the weapons that they choose. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and make a a death run style map that I'm going to place over in this corner. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up real fast. Okay, so now I got that death run area built. This is the outside of it. Players will spawn into here, and they'll just run through this little area that I got built here. I'll have some kind of like missing floor pieces for them to jump over, and I'm going to put in some devices that deal them damage if they miss a jump or whatever. But for now, I got some dead end areas also, but for now this is going to be the end of it right here. So once they make it to this little area, I'll have a like a capture point, so that way whenever the first team to make it there and secure the zone or whatever we'll win that round. But for now, we got this all set up. We're going to go ahead and set some devices up in here, starting with the teleporter pad. So I'll go ahead and get that started. Okay, I need a teleporter. I'm going to need a checkpoint. Alright, I'm going to end up needing another class designer and class selector. And also some miscellaneous damage devices that I haven't quite decided what I want. I do know for sure that I am going to need the damage volume, but the rest of it I don't know what I'm going to use yet. So we'll cross that bridge later. Is it like spikes or something? I'm guessing not. Maybe if I go into like traps. Ah, yes. Okay. Ice block, launch pad. Oh, I can place traps. It's not letting me place them there. Okay. I don't know. But anyway, I do know for sure that I'm going to need these damage volumes. I'm just going to set these down here. We'll call this the deathrun. Damage volume 1. Let's make it 2 tiles wide by 4 tiles. Let's make it like half a tile. So I don't want them to get hurt until they fall into it. I guess I need to make it quite a bit longer. And just a little bit wider too, just to be safe. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. Let's go ahead and make it, let's just do 3 tiles wide by 7. Let's see what that does for me. Okay, it's nice to be a little bit longer. I can move it just a little bit, but I still need to make it a little bit longer. Let's just do 10. It can be a little bit too long, it's fine. Okay. Looks like it covers it pretty good. Now, that zone is going to be invisible. So to keep people from seeing the grid underneath, I'm going to have to put like a barrier device or something in there to make it look a little more appealing and not look so kind of tacky, I guess. So we'll just find a barrier device. I'm going to go ahead and place it directly under that. Cool. And I'm going to do, I do want it to be a little shorter than the, how am I going to do this? Because I don't want players to be able to see any part of that. So I'm going to minimum phase, basis on that. We're going to set it to like flames or something to make it look really dangerous. And the last one, it was 3 tiles wide by 10 tiles long. And I'm going to make it, it's a little lower, so I'm going to go ahead and just put it back at a half tile high. Okay. Doesn't look like it took. Where'd that barrier device go? Okay. I don't know why. Oh. Because it went the other way. Let's just fix that like that then. A little bit easier. But I don't want people to be able to see. See how you can still see like the tile and stuff. I'm gonna make it a little bit wider and longer. Just so they can't see anything. What's the damage volume? I don't want that. I want the barrier device, please and thank you. There we go. Let's make it, just to make sure I cover it fully, I'm going to do 5 by 13. Just so if I'm standing anywhere here, I can't see any. I can still see a little bit there. That's another thing. I want this lower than that too. The barrier device is literally just so they can't see the floor. The flames themselves aren't going to hurt them, but I don't want them to be able to see. I don't want them to see this either, so we have to fix that. I might be able to fix that just by moving it, honestly. Here. I can still see some grid over there and some grid over there. So I need to make it a little bit wider. What about if I'm over here? Can I see? Come on, man. I can see is the stairs. It's kind of hard to judge. Okay. But I can, if I really wanted to fix that, I can just... do this. I'll take care of it. What do I do? Copying stairs, what is this? I guess it doesn't really matter. Well, it all looks the same. And I did too far. Okay, let's do it this way. Maybe it'll make it a little easier. Instead of trying to make the barrier bigger, we'll just make that smaller. Yeah, why didn't I think of that the first time? Okay. I think I got that pretty good. Now we need to do that same kind of thing everywhere that there is a hole. So, let's go ahead and take care of that real fast and put the little flames in the damage volume. Oh, before I forget, the damage volume you want to, there's one thing you want to modify real fast. You want to make sure it's set from damage type to elimination. Well, if you want it to instantly kill them. Otherwise, they'll just sit there and kind of burn for a little bit. But I want them, if they fall into the fire, they obviously just to get eliminated. So, make sure that's set to elimination, at least for what I'm going to do with this death run. And everything else should be okay. Alright, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and just set the little flames and the damage volumes to the rest of these. And we'll get that done real fast. Okay, so now that I got all the damage volumes set up and the barrier devices, I know it kind of looks like a mess, but once you're actually in here, you'll be able to see that all you can see is fire. And whenever you fall down into the fire, it will obviously eliminate you. But a couple things we need to set up before we can play test it. First off, we're going to have to set up that teleporter device. that we grabbed earlier. Let's set that up. And then we're going to also set up the checkpoint pad. Let's move this up a little bit. There we go. Set that underneath it. Why does it look like it's loading? Because it is. Alright. Okay. Turn this invisible real quick so I don't have to listen to it. There we go. We're going to call this the deathrun in-game teleporter. Perfect. That's not what I meant. Let's go back into that. Alright, now I need to figure out a group. Make sure that I'm not using any groups from previous things. I think the last one I stopped at was group D or E or something. That's group E. That's group D. Okay. So this one is going to be group F. So it's going to be, this one is going to be group F. And it's not going to have a target group. It's always going to be enabled. The team is going to be set to all. However, class, we're going to have it set to a class we haven't used yet. I believe I stopped on class 4 last time. So this is going to be class 5. Actually, any. And the reason for that is they're not going to be class 5 yet until they emerge from the teleporter. So if you set that to 5, then they won't be able to teleport into it. So just make sure that's set to nothing so far. Rift Invisible. Last couple things I set. No. Yes. No. No. And off. Okay. Then we're going to rename this checkpoint pad. This is going to be the deathrun checkpoint. I'm going to register when receiving from that teleporter device that we just made. Right there, on teleporter. Register right there. Excellent. Next thing I'm going to set up is I'm going to set up the class and the class selector. Okay. In the class selector, I'm going to have it change player to class when receiving from that same teleporter. On teleported. And we're going to class switch to number 5. I'm not going to change the team or anything like that. Shouldn't be visible anyway, but just to be safe, I'm getting in the habit of making sure that those are invisible. This just makes the class selector itself visible. If you want your players to be able to like interact with it and change their class on command, then you can set it in a place where they can get to and turn it visible. But I am using it strictly to change their class as I want them to. So we're going to call this class 5 deathrun. If I can spell. Class 5 deathrun designer. Class identifier, we're going to have it set to 5. Class name, I'm going to leave that invisible for now, leave it blank. Grant items on respawn. I don't think they really need anything for a death run, so they're not going to get anything. Let's start with pickaxe. I'm going to have that set to no. And since it doesn't really matter, they get eliminated when they fall anyway. We're just going to leave that all at the default. I think there is going to... I am going to allow sprinting, but however, they're not going to have unlimited sprint. They're going to have... It's going to cost them 10 energy per second to sprint, which is half of the default. And the rest of that I already have set up. I'm not going to mess with any of that. They don't get any ammo or anything like that, so I'm going to change any of that. I'm going to turn the jump fatigue off, just so they don't have to worry about jumping a bunch of times and then not be able to jump. So I'm going to turn that off for this. I think the rest of it, make sure that's off. It should be off, but I want to make sure it's off. The spawn limit, I'm going to change the team setting. The inventory is set to a spawn limit of 3. I'm going to bump this up to like 5. Spawn location, it should just be, yeah. Should always go back to that checkpoint. And the visible in UI, I'm going to turn that off as well. And that's just in case I do make a game mode to where they can select a class. I don't want them to be able to choose this one because they probably wouldn't like it anyway. Alright. So then that should be good for there. The next thing I need to set up is over in the hub area. I need to pick one of my sides that I have not chosen yet. We'll do this one. We're going to call this the deathrun game teleporter. Okay. Target group is going to be F, which is the one that we have already. Enable during phase, yep, select a team, all of them, select the class, any. The rest of it should be just the generic things. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and change this conditional button. I'm going to call this deathrun. Conditional button. And nothing else I should have to change. So, yeah. Oh, there is one thing I need to change. The interact text. Right there. And this is just going to say deathrun. I don't need to capitalize the bar. Okay. Now I should be able to play test this. Team deathmatch. This must be my deathrun. It is. Okay. Run to here. I spawn in my deathrun and dropped my key, apparently. I need to make that invisible. Okay. Let's see what we got. Well, looks all good. Looks like fire. And bye-bye. Should spawn me back here. I'm gonna set like miscellaneous traps and stuff. Hopefully. Okay. Okay, there's a damage volume somewhere that I need to fix. So, go figure that one out real fast, because that'd be annoying. Okay, so shortly after we'll come up here. Oh, there it is, too. Figure out which one it is. This one, probably. Okay, so I come up these stairs. You can still kind of see it. It's kind of tricky with all these damage volumes placed around. This is why we playtest it. Playtest it. Okay. Should. I don't see it anymore. So hopefully that took care of it. Fix that in a minute. Wait for my sprint to recharge. There we go. Okay, well, looks like I got it. I'm not dying just by walking up the stairs now. That's good. Probably stand to raise that a little bit. Does it still kill me? Yeah. Check the rest of it. See if I can make it all the way to the end. Uh-oh. Ran out of sprint right as I was getting ready to jump. Why didn't you jump, man? Nope. It's not jumping for me for some reason. Okay. Figure out why it keeps dropping that. It's probably in here. I do remember changing one of those settings that I normally don't change. Doesn't look like it's in there. Maybe it's in here. Right there, clear items on switch. Let's just leave that on. Okay. So that should be good. As long as that whole thing I can run through. The next thing I want to set up is a capture point. I'm just going to set it probably right in the middle here. I don't know if I should make it like more in the middle of this. I'll put it right in front of the door. See what that looks like when I come up the stairs. Yeah, I think right in front of the door ought to be good. Okay. Starting team. We'll see what happens if I leave it at all. Yeah, this is all fine. Okay. So most of this requires an item, but you can turn that off to where you don't need an item to score. So I'm just going to leave it to where it doesn't need an item to score. Just making sure this is all set up. You can be captured by all. It's going to be an instant thing, as long as that's set to instant. Yeah, so the first person to walk into it will win the round for their team. No. Okay, I think the rest of that's fine. Okay. So I'll try that again here in a second. Next thing I want to do, go back over to where I had all my stuff. And I'm going to place one more, well, technically two more devices. And those are going to be in-game devices. Actually, just go ahead and place it. We need one for Team 1, and another one for Team 2. Yeah, good enough. Alright. We're going to call this the deathrun Team 1 in-game device. And this one, the Team 2. Or the deathrun Team 2. If I could hit it in-game device. Okay. Well, to end in the round with the winning team set as Team 2. I'm just going to say, you made it. Enable that game start. Yes. Activating Team 2. Allowed class 5. Okay. Let's see if this works. That's not the checkpoint, it's the... They're not changing the name of the capture area. It's going to be the same thing, just for the other team. Let's see if I change the name of this, what I changed it to. It's just called the capture area. We're going to call it the deathrun capture area. There we go. Now I don't have any problem finding it. Alright, activate when receiving from the deathrun capture area. On control change. I'm really hoping this doesn't give me a problem with when the control changes to any team, that both players win or both players lose. So I'm hoping that since setting it to that only Team 1 and Team 2 can activate it, that whoever activates it is the one who gets the victory. So we'll see. Okay. If that poses me a problem later, I'll have to figure something else out. I can figure like a score manager or something like that to be able to fix it. I might go ahead and do that actually, because I know that'll help it win. So let's go ahead and drop a score manager. Well, that's gonna do the same thing, so I don't, because it's just gonna give both players a point. So if it ends the game, it's not gonna make a difference. So there's no point in doing that. Okay. So we'll go ahead and call that good for now. I'll need more than one person playing with me to actually really test it. But for now, I go ahead and got that thing set up. So now we have a sniper versus runners, a team deathmatch, and a death run set up. And the next video, we'll go ahead and set up one more area, little game mode, which I haven't decided on what I'm going to build yet. But for now, we'll just go ahead and stop it right there. I will go ahead and finish setting up the billboard for the death run and making sure it looks all good. But that's it for this video. Thanks guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and happy creating.